Hi, I'm Dr. Logan.
And I'm Dr. Booth.
And we are here for another Doc Talks here at Elevate. Today we're going to be talking about how to set up your ideal office workspace. So we need to know why that's so important. We need to know what happens when you have a suboptimal workplace. And we'll also at the very end, we're going to go over a checklist on ways to optimize your workplace.
Yeah, huge. So what happens with suboptimal workspace? Typically what we see first and foremost is that people come to us and they complain about pains persistently happening with their workspace. So we have to kind of diagnose what's going on with their workspace and try to figure out how to start taking pressures off of these areas. But pain in the head, we'll get headaches, we'll get eye strain, we'll get neck strain, upper back, shoulders. If we're in positions for 6 to 8 hours in a day, it's really hard for us to be here and then think, oh, well, I need to raise my arm up over my head. It doesn't really work like that. If we're not doing it throughout the day, or we're not, creating movements throughout the day, it makes those very hard to do. And then later on, if it's really hard to do, then it can cause some pain. There's also low back pain, wrist, forearm pain. All these types of things can be really detrimental to, and it can be caused because of the workspace. So that's definitely a big thing. What else happens with a bad workspace?
With a bad workspace, you're limiting your overall movement. So again, you're in these prolonged positions for long periods of time. You can do different things to set up so that you're not confined to the specific posture for such long periods of time, which can therefore cause all kinds of issues and contributions. So setting up your workplace to optimize movement is going to be crucial for you.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, anytime that we can increase movement, I think it's going to really help. We'll talk about some of the checklists on how to do that in a bit. But he nailed it. Having an environment that is not promoting movement is bad. Also, when we look at another complaint that we have from patients or anybody that we work with here at Elevate, it's that their production is actually going down. So if you are out of work because of pain, if you are cloudy in your mindset because the only thing you think about is pain, discomfort, you're just not healthy overall, those things can all drive productivity down the drain. And it can be very detrimental to career, to job, to bosses' performance reviews of you, all that kind of stuff. So making sure that all this stuff is optimized, pretty important. I'd say that it's probably one of the top things that office people complain about, or office patients complain about. So we wanted to give you guys a checklist that's going to help out in terms of concepts of things to think about, and then maybe some things to maybe move around in your desk so that it can really help. So first and foremost, what do we have? We have an environment that allows movement. What does that consist of?
Having no physical barriers in the way, setting up your environment so that there is a good flow to it. Say you have to always be filing, make sure that your filing system is right there next to you, but also making sure that there's not other things in the way so that you're having to alter your body in different positions in order to do the tasks you need to do. Allowing your body to move freely is going to be crucial for you to not have these prolonged posturing positions and pains that go along with it. Mm-hmm. Also, modifying your just overall setup is going to be crucial. So ways that we can do that?
Yeah, so looking at creating an environment that allows movement, we want to create breaks in our day. So if we have 6 to 8 hours that we're sitting for in the office setting, if we can sprinkle in movement, and I'm not saying you have to just completely get up and be moving all throughout the day, but if we break up every hour we're getting up and we're moving, every half hour we're getting up and moving, that's going to be better than the opposite of just going 6 to 8 hours with no movement. So ways that they can strategize this is a couple of different things we've thought about. As if you want to fill up your water bottle, make it the absolute farthest away that you possibly can. Make yourself go walk down for a couple of minutes, fill up the water bottle, come down a different route, say hello to your friend on the other side of the office, go outside, go around the sidewalk, whatever it is, something that can get you to move around for a bit. But every time you fill up your water bottle, hopefully you guys are hydrating, getting a lot of water. You have to. But in addition to that, you want to get movement at the same time. So hydration can be a sneaky way to do it. And then also, if you guys are hydrating a lot, probably gonna have to use the bathroom. Use the bathroom that is as far away as possible, so you're moving around, so you're getting a little bit of circulation in there. Circulation actually really does help with like the clarity of your mind too. If you're getting up and you're getting like a lot of oxygen into your body, that can really clear out some of the stuff that you might be fumbling with throughout the day. So that's one way or a couple of ways to strategize movement. How about like desk? Is there anything that you would suggest for a desk for potentially someone that wants to move around a little bit more?
Well, one very affordable option now is your sitting standing desk, your rising
Huge.
desk. So you can break it up throughout the day where if you feel tired, go ahead and sit. You start to feel stiff, rise that baby up and go ahead and stand for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You're, again, getting back to that circulation and getting some cognitive clarity is huge. Also for the stress and anxieties of just the work that you have to do. Any physical movement or activity is going to help with those stress and anxiety levels.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Desk.
Yeah. So looking at the desk, like you said, desk height is very key. And then also looking at like the desk is holding most of the time a monitor that you're actually looking at. So when we look at monitor positions, we're going to compare a monitor like a desktop computer compared to a laptop computer. Laptop computer, you have the screen and the keyboard all in kind of like the same spot, and then maybe a mouse or a finger pad. All that stuff is kind of keeping you really close to the monitor or to the actual laptop. With a desktop, you can start spacing some stuff out. You can put monitor here, you can put keyboard down here, you can put mouse over here. It creates a little bit more options for your body, so you don't have to be kind of confined really close to a small laptop. So you can change monitor position, you can change monitor height, you can change keyboard position depending on your desk, and then also with the mouse, I found that it's really helpful to not have something that you can lean on and mouse. Actually have something that is a free moving elbow. So again, we're promoting movement. So those are ways that we can use the desk, monitor, mouse, and keyboard as promoting more movement. So going back to the movement environment, like having a little bit more availability for movement, it's really important that you have a place to perform movement too. So have this goal or this guideline that, okay, I'm going to go to X room, or I'm going to go over to the door that's right outside the office, and that's where I'm going to have a little bit of space to move. If you don't have that, then you're kind of like trying to do it next to one of your office workers, and they're like, what's going on? Like, you're kind of moving, you're in my space. Let's not do that, and let's figure out a space that you can actually perform some of that stuff. If you need help with any of that stuff, you can ask a boss, you can ask someone that will really help with your endeavors in trying to move around a little bit. Lastly, you kind of touched on a little bit, how does repetition create suboptimal workspaces?
Repetition. So say you're 1,000 times a day, you have to reach into this filing cabinet, you have to go place it then over there to this shelf. Doing those same specific movements over and over and over countless times a day is going to put the same stressors and tensions on specific parts of the body. You do that a couple thousand times a day, a couple days a week, a couple of years, that's going to really add up and cause a lot of issues. So breaking up that repetition, that continuous same repeated stimulus is so crucial. So moving things around, or if it's something where you can't change your overall environment, maybe breaking it up where, say, instead of reaching to left to right, you can maybe go right to left, or vice versa. Breaking up that same repeated movement is going to be crucial so that you don't have some overuse injury from doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, something else that I've seen with patients too, in terms of like doing something over and over again, is having monitors being set to the right or to the left, and having people constantly looking to the right.
Same muscles firing all day long.
The whole time for 6 to 8 hours, if you're constantly doing this and doing typing here, of course you're gonna have some overuse or some sort of imbalances here. So if we can switch some of that stuff up, or we can challenge the thought process of just having our monitor in one position, make some modifications, be proactive on trying to create variability into your day, so it's not the same thing over and over again. Look at the things that you do over and over again, and then start strategizing on how to make different breaks in that repetition. If you have questions about that, we're definitely the people that can kind of dissect some of that stuff. I do that a lot with patients. If you don't have any idea on how to make that happen, I know Logan's done a ton of that stuff with all patients, because most of the time we see that in the history when we take a patient back and we start to understand their pain. There's something that they're doing over and over again that's kind of causing these issues. So if you have questions, if you need us to help you through a pain suboptimal workspace, 702-558-2151, give us a call and we'll help you out. Thanks guys, we'll see you next week.